Woo! What's going on, guys? Arms Forum coming at you guys today with another video. And today's video, there's some NFL news going around. Detroit Lions got involved, and there's all kinds of tagging going on. They had up until 4 o'clock to do some tagging. For the last week or so, maybe even longer, you can start re-signing your players. You can't go out and sign anybody else off different teams just yet. And we went and made a deal today. We went and made a re-signing. We went and re-signed wide receiver Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds was an LA Ram wide receiver, drafted by them, I believe, in 2017, I want to say. Played with Jared Goff in LA for a few years. A big-bodied guy, 6'3", 195, 200 pounds. A long strider, not a burner, but can run deep routes, get open for you. Came over from the Tennessee Titans last year. He requested a trade to the Tennessee Titans. They couldn't really get a deal for him. They ended up releasing him. And the Detroit Lions had number one waiver at the time, and we ended up claiming him. Now, like I said, familiarity with Jared Goff. Comes over from the Titans, kind of got buried in that depth chart. Was signed by the Titans to actually become the number two to AJ Brown, and or at least the number two to AJ Brown. Then they went out and made a deal to get Julio Jones. So that kind of buried him a little bit. Took him to number three, number four. They had another guy over there. I can't remember the guy's name. Hawaiian kid, I believe his name is. He's got like a hyphenated name last year. Hines, last name Hines for the Tennessee Titans. I can't remember his last name, but he kind of stepped up a little bit and kind of became that number two, number three guy in Tennessee for a while. AJ Brown was always banged up. Julio banged up. And Josh Reynolds just couldn't really crack the lineup. Had a few catches, maybe. I think he might have had 10 catches as a Titan, but we ended up getting him. We claimed him in the waiver wire, and he ended up having 19 catches for 306 yards and 2 touchdowns on a 16.1 yards per reception. That was actually his highest career in yards per reception in his 5-year career. So he's still a young kid, kind of almost like, it's not a blockbuster deal. It's not a blockbuster signing, but it's a signing that, that was kind of maybe needed. We needed that big body back, and at least we got someone that's got some familiarity with the team and Jared Goff especially. Now, people don't want to say, well, look, they're catering to Jared Goff. Well, guess what? Jared Goff is our quarterback for 2022. That's just hook, line, sinker. That's what it's going to be until otherwise, and until they prove that it's not. Because as of right now, that's what it is. That's what it is, and it helps their quarterback. He's a familiar face. He's played with them in LA. Now he's played with them for a little bit in Detroit. They know each other. They're friends. So it's okay now. At the time, we only had about 3 wide receivers, I think, on board on the roster. Quintez Cephas, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Trinity Benson. So, and then I think they had Javon McKinley on the practice squad. So this puts Reynolds in the mix. There's 4 wide receivers on the roster right now that are signed, sealed, delivered. And Ben Johnson has made it clear that they need more wide receivers. Antoine Randall has said that he expects 2 to 3 new guys on this roster in that wide receiver room. He's our wide receiver coach, and like I said, Ben Johnson, he clearly stated at the Senior Bowl too that they love to attack the middle. And when they brought Josh Reynolds over, he brought some speed to the team. He's not a burner or anything like that, but he opened up things for Amon-Ra St. Brown in those short intermediate routes, and it changed some things around. The offense got better when Reynolds came over. Had a lot to do with Ben Johnson as well too, but it opened things up a little bit with Josh Reynolds coming to town. Now, it's an okay signing. It doesn't mean, it was a 2-year deal at $12 million too, and people like to freak out over that money as well too. I haven't really seen any details of the contract yet. It's probably heavily incentive, the contract, heavily incentive based. So, when you say that heavily incentive, it means there's some things that probably got to happen for him to reach that full money, for him to see that $12 million, which he may or may not. Who knows? But it could instill stuff like how many catches. He's got to reach a certain amount of catches to kick in some bonuses, yards, touchdowns, maybe games played, game snaps, how many, whatever these contracts consist of. They can get pretty crazy. And when they're heavily incentive, then you just got to figure out what those were. And I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I don't think if he reaches that number, the $12 million, then he reaches it. That means he's probably having a good year. He's not a superstar wide receiver, but he's a guy that's helped out in the past. He's a guy that's got, like we said, familiarity with Jared Goff. And so that's it, man. Josh Reynolds re-signed in Detroit, helping out with the offense. Let's see, we obviously still need some weapons. But there you go, man. Josh Reynolds is a Lion again, 2 years. Let's see how it works out. Congratulations, Josh Reynolds. Thanks for the video. Guys. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right. Hit the notification bell. Get all my videos. And like and comment. Let's talk about Josh Reynolds. Hey, he's in the Motown, baby. Let's go. Boom. Boom.